bet you're excited because your machine came in the mail. I would be too. This thing is super awesome and it's super neat. One thing I want you guys to focus on is basically watching this video. It's crucial. We're going to go over tips and tricks on how to set this thing up, break it down, maintenance, so much more. So please watch this video. When you get your machine, it's crucial that you watch the video. I'm going to try to do my best to go over everything in detail, from maintenance to start up and put down the machine, and hopefully get you guys up to speed on how to run the machine. So here we go. Your machine came in the mail, and here it is. It showed up. You're going to open it up. First thing you're going to do is call me, and I will go ahead and start training if we haven't done it in person. But with that being said, I'm going to tell you to get your box out of your computer, out of your box, your small box out of your big box. And we're going to go ahead and set it on the chair here for now. Now, I'm going to tell you to go ahead and pull your computer out. And everything's in here. It's all laid out, everything you need. So this is where your computer is. This is where the power cords, the mouse, everything you need to run the machine will be in the box right here. Next thing you're going to do is basically watch the video. We're going to have this online so you guys will have access to it. Anytime you can watch this video, you can go through and fully understand what we're doing here. The first thing and foremost, we're going to go over putting the machine up and breaking it down. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and grab my box and my machine. When I grab this box, I want to go ahead and put my fingers behind the gantry here and tilt back on it, and I want to pick up the foam all in one piece. Now I'm going to go ahead and set the foam down. You will notice in your box here, you got some items that you're going to leave right there, the Allen wrench, some other few things. We'll go over that in a second. Now that we've gotten this far, we're going to go ahead and push down on the actual foam itself, and the machine will pop up and out of its spot. Okay? When we've gotten that far, we're going to pick up the gantry. Okay? You can see how I have it. I got the cord in one hand, the gantry in the other, and when I set the machine down, I always want the cord to be pointing out that side. I never want it on this side, and the reason why is because when I put this together, this will always be in the bottom left-hand corner because this is where the cord goes. So now I've gotten that out, I'm going to go ahead and just take my box here, and I'm going to move it over. Now, I'm going to grab the rails. So these are linear rails. You'll notice this is the short end, and this is the long end. And if we look at the machine, this is where the router goes. So with that being said, this long part is where the router comes up and cuts. Okay? So once again, you can see how these are placed. You got the long end, you got the short end. When I put this together, it's going to come out and it's going to cut in this long end here. So we're going to take this limiter stop off. And you'll see on one side, the long end, that it's been beveled. So with that being said, the actual aluminum itself is beveled so that it guides itself into the pillow block. When you do this, you got to be careful not to force these in. You want to line them up and you want to get them level. And once you feel the gear grab, you're going to push it on through and stop about halfway in. I'll put the limiter stop back in the rail. And I'll go ahead and grab my other rail here. Once again, this one's been beveled as well to fit inside our pillow block. And you can see here's the long end, here's the short end. So once again, I'm going to go ahead and slide this one in. You can't put this thing together backwards. Is what it does is it allows it so it doesn't have a full range of motion, so you're not getting your full cutting capability. So I'm going to stick that rail on. I'm going to go ahead and push the limiter stop back in. I'm going to come over and get the rail ends and put those on. These are all CNC and precision cut so that everything lines up perfect. You can see right here our dowel pins and all been CNC, but you can use these rails over here or over there, doesn't matter. All you got to do is just make sure you line up your pins. You're going to push down on, and they're going to pop right into place. Go ahead and put your set screw back into the rail, and that secures our system. We'll grab the other end piece here. I'll take those screws out as well. Once again, we're going to lift up one side, slide the other side over, push down on it. Everything kind of snaps into place. Put the screws back in. In your case, now that we've gotten this far, in your case you'll notice you'll find your router. Okay? So here's your router. You'll have your plate already on it. You'll come with 2 Allen wrenches. There's a 3mm and a 4mm. You'll get your 10 concrete bits, and you'll get the wrenches that go to the router. And we'll put these on later, and I'll show you how this is done. Right now we need Allen wrenches. So I'm going to go down and tighten up all these screws here to make sure everything's nice and tight. Now, got those tight, I'm going to grab the leveling screws. And they're in your box as well. Everything has its own place. This box was designed so that everything has its own spot. So I'm going to take my leveling screws, go ahead and push them in. I run those down to the concrete, and what I'm looking for is that the machine actually sits in the air a little bit so that we have some adjustment, and that's kind of what we're trying to account for. When I get everything in and leveled up, I'll take my tape measure here, and I'll come in and I'll measure from the top bar, and that's where I'll set all 4 corners. If that makes sense. So I'm just going to measure from the top angle and see how high I am and set all those. I like to be about 3 inches. They say we just go ahead and you can run these down and you'll see how it lifts up. Now I've gotten that far, I'm going to go ahead and take off 3 screws on one side. The 3 bottom screws on the gantry on one side. On the other side, you just loosen these up. Okay? Now, as you can see on your plate, you can just come up and you can go ahead and just slide this thing on over. What we're looking for, guys, is this to be flush, the plate to be flush with this other plate. Once we've got it there, I'm just going to go ahead and tighten one side up. Okay, now we'll go ahead and grab the other side here. My cord underneath it, unfortunately, but that's okay. We'll put these other screws in. And sink these all the way in and they're tight. So during shipping, we have had some issues with a few different things. these boxes are 112 pounds, and when the shipper drops them off the truck at 6 feet, you know, it's possible to get some damage. So, with that being said, the damage that we're seeing is this motor gets moved and cause our shaft to be ill-aligned. Also, the brackets we've got down here are slightly getting bent. If that happens, go ahead and bend the bracket back, give me a call, and I'll send you out a new one. It's not a problem. With this one, we've got to make sure it's lined up. So we've had some problems where this has been moved and the shaft is bound up and the customer says, hey, my Z-axis won't work. So what I recommend doing, first and foremost, I want you to grab an Allen, your small Allen wrench, and you're going to loosen up the two bottom screws. They're hooked to a block that will put pressure on that shaft and cause it to be out of alignment. So once again, you're going to loosen up these two bottom screws. Okay? And that, you can see, gives a little bit of play. That gets some play to the axis so it can move up and down. That's how we do the floating Z. If it still don't move, you can go ahead and grab vice grips, and that's what the shaft is left on here for. And you can grab it and turn it with the shaft. With a spare vice grips. I recommend trying that first before you go to this. If your machine ever comes up and hits the top of the gantry and gets stuck there, the way you can do it is you can unscrew this by hand. You've got to make sure the machine is unhooked from the box, because these motors, once they're powered on, they hold full power and they lock up. So once again, that's what I recommend. Now we've gotten here, if you want to come over here and see this cord, I'm going to tuck it back behind here. And the reason why is this thing is a hazard if you have it hanging out. So I like to tuck it back behind all that stuff and then come in and plug it in here. And what that does is keep everything out of the way. Okay? So now we've gotten everything set up. We're going to move back to our bottom left-hand corner where we cut. You can move the machine around when it's off, as far as when there's no power to it. Once you put power to it, you're going to have issues as far as it locks the motor. Now that you've gone that far, if you want to throw a bit in, that's good. But I recommend holding off until we get the gantry up in the air, and we'll go ahead and put the, you need two wrenches, one goes on the top, one goes on the bottom, and then your bits are in your bag here. So, I've got my case open, I'm ready to move forward. I want to put everything together. First and foremost, you'll see your bag. In your bag, you'll see first and foremost your power to your computer. Your power to computer hooks in this first power receptacle here. Okay? And then this will go into your computer and plug right in. Now, I'm not going to lie, these are tight fits, and so you got to make sure you're lined up perfect. But that's kind of how I run them down. Then you'll notice you'll have a power cord. This power cord here goes to the actual box up front. Now that fits in perfect, so you can't mess that up. That's going to go to our power to our wall at 110 volts. So now we have that. We're going to go ahead, grab this, and just plug it in. Okay. Now we have an Ethernet cord. This Ethernet cord communicates between our Ethernet box and our computer. So here's our box and our computer. This is what connects it, guys. This has got to be plugged in for it to work. So we're going to go ahead and plug it in. I'm going to come over here and plug it into the other computer as well. Okay. Now that we've gone that far, I've got your mouse. You're going to open up your mouse and you'll see your toggle in it. Take the toggle out. Close the mouse back up. Make sure you turn it on and plug the toggle in. Just plug into the side of your computer. Okay. Now go ahead and turn your computer on. Just push your power button and you'll see a light come on. Your computer will turn on. Then you're going to go ahead. Password on your computer's password, guys. That's what we do. You guys can change it accordingly, but the password on your computer is going to be password. Now that you've gone in there, we're going to open up Mach 3. Okay? Go ahead and make sure you turn your box on here, guys. But that code is telling me that we're not communicating because the box isn't turned on. So make sure you turn the box on. Okay? I'm going to push yes. If you look right there, we do it again, but there's a blue line that comes across the screen. That tells me that the machine's hooking to the computer. Box is hooking to the machine. Turn it back on. We'll push OK. And you'll see the controller come up. That blue line comes up, and that tells us that we're connected. We're going to go ahead and push reset. Now, a lot of people have issues with they can't get the Z-axis to work. One of the issues is you guys got to make sure your number lock putting on. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and hook up the cords. All these cords are color coded. That is on. All these cords are color coded, so you can just plug them right in. And you want to back these off and then screw them forward so you don't cross thread these nuts here. Okay. Once again, they're all color coded. You can't really mess with that. They're also labeled XYZ. Now that you're all done with the machine, say you've done an engraving and get ready to take it apart, the first thing you're going to do is go ahead and take your screws out. These go back in the case. To get the screws out, I'm going to shut some power off the machine so I can move it around. So, if I want to do this, I'm going to shut down, get out of Mach 3. Go ahead and exit out of there. And then we're just going to turn the box off. And you'll notice the power takes away from the motors and you can move the machine around. One thing is, the two bottom motors are hooked together. They are piggyback to each other. So you constantly unplug them from the machine here in the box here to get them to move nice and fluid. When you move them, they actually build power and they go against each other, which is kind of funny. So undo your cords, and now you can move the machine no problem. Okay. So I'm gonna put these back in the box. Grab my Allens, go ahead and pull the screws out here. I kind of look at the machine, I like to rock it back and forth a little bit. It lets these pins kind of walk out. Once you get it out, you're going to go ahead and put your screws back in. I like to take a microfiber and wipe down all my components before I put it in the box. Helps maintain all the components and keep them clean. If you can't get them apart, I like to kind of lock them, or you can get a rubber mallet and hit it with a rubber mallet to get them apart. Thank you, Adam.
No problem.
once again, I like to use a microfiber to wipe down the machine before I put it in the box. You notice the rubbers on the bottom of these rails here. These rubbers I'll use if I'm doing a finished floor that I don't want to scratch. I actually take my Allen wrench and unscrew these, and I pull them off, and I'll stick them on into the screws. These go on and these go on in the screws, so the rubber's wearing on the surface and not the tip of the screw. So I'll put this away after I wipe it down. Everything has its own spot. It's been designed that way for a reason. The case is meant for a reason as well. Put it away so it's in safe storage. You go ahead and slide your rails out. Make sure you put all your screws. I put them back where they were so that I know where they are when I need to put it together. Go ahead and wipe everything down. Once again, I take WD-40 dry lube and I'll spray it on these rails and wipe those down as well. So with these rails, you see how that's an L right there, okay? That's how these go in the box. This comes in, and then this side comes in, slides into place. Okay? We're going to do the same thing on this side. Go ahead and put your set screw back in. Wipe it down. Cool, so now we can go ahead and put the box back in here. I'll use those. I like to use a small tape measure. They seem to work the best. My box back in there, you can kind of see there's a spot for them. I'll grab my gantry, pick it up. Slide everything in. I can go ahead and take the router. Take one side all the way out. The screws. Loosen up one side. Slide the router out. Slide your cord out. Didn't unplug it before I should get the box. You have this on the spot as well right there. Go ahead and put these screws back in. So you know where they are, so you don't lose them. Okay. Your Allen wrench here, they have their own spots. And your router will go in. Now, if you unplug your box, go ahead and unplug the power. You're going to undo the Ethernet cord. We're going to take off the toggle for the remote. Sit that back there for now. I'm going to lift up the computer. I like to pull it through, and then I'll take that out. I've gotten that out. Push power on the computer. Screen will turn off. Go ahead and drop the computer. Put my remote there. Put the cords around that. I have to take this and set everything right around there. I'm going to take this and stick that kind of like that. Put my remote back in my case here. Be cautious with these remotes. magnets in the back. You don't ever want to set it back down. You always want to set it this way. Set it back down, there's a good possibility that it could mess up your screen. So make sure you set it face down. Go ahead and put that down. And we're going to go ahead and put this back in the box.